Hi, this video today is about extensions, what they are not, some myths, some misconceptions, and the process of how to file an extension. First of all, an extension is something you file with the IRS that grants you automatically 6 months to be able to file a timely tax return by October 15th instead of April 15th. It is only to file the tax return though, it is not to make a payment any later than April 15th. Any payments made after April 15th could be subject to penalty and interest. Let's step back and understand the process of filing a tax return. Your tax return is simply a compilation of your income, expenses, deductions, credits, and other things to arrive at what your final tax amount is. Once you arrive at that, then you compare that with what you've paid in through W-2s, 1099s, or other payments. And if you have an overpayment, the IRS owes you money. If you are underpaid, you owe the IRS money. When you look at filing an extension, if you have an overpayment, an extension is simply a form you file and you have until October to send that return in. There is nothing more due. If you have a balance due though, we need to calculate or estimate about how much should be paid with that extension. There are pros and cons to filing extensions. One of the big benefits is that especially for a business or something where you have a choice on how much you claim in the prior year, you have until August, September, or October to make that final decision. Often things will happen within a business, subsequent events, that may change your perspective on what you wanted to claim the prior year. If you have already filed a return, it is more complicated to file an amended return. Simply waiting until September to file your final return can sometimes provide more tax benefits. One of the downsides of filing an extension is if you have a balance due. If you have a balance due, it may be subject to penalty and interest. Sometimes that penalty and interest, though, is not significant and may still be worth the benefits of filing the extension. One big misconception of extensions is that they create audits. There is no information or data anywhere to suggest that extended returns get audited more often. It really does not make sense either because IRS doesn't even look at the returns until well into the following year to determine audits. Another benefit is that we have more time and our hourly rates are lower outside of tax season than they are during tax season. It may cost you less for the preparation, and we may also have more time to find more benefits and reduce your overall tax. Sometimes if you have income from businesses that issue K-1s, you may have no choice but to extend. If the business has extended their filing until September, you cannot file your return until you receive that final K-1. Let's spend a few minutes on the process of how to file an extension. An extension is a form that can be filed electronically or by paper with the IRS and your respective state. If you know that you have a refund, you can simply send that in and your extension will be granted. If you know you might have a balance due, you need to spend a little time and figure out how much you want to pay with that extension. Our tax summaries are a great tool to be able to calculate your extension. Most people's information stay similar from year to year. If you copy over all the items that should stay similar and then simply make adjustments plus or minus for increased business income, increased wages, decreased deductions, or increased deductions, it should give you a pretty good idea of what that bottom line amount is. When you calculate that, based on the balance due, you can choose to pay a little bit more if you want a little more buffer on that amount, or you can choose to pay a little bit less if you're okay with possibly paying some interest and penalty. I'm going to walk you through how to update your worksheet. First, find your worksheet. If you have any questions on how to do that, see our video on finding your custom Google Tax Summary worksheet. Once you are there, look at the bottom and find a tab for the 2021 Personal Tax Summary. If you don't see a tab for the 2021 Personal Tax Summary, please contact our staff and they will get one made for you quickly. As you go down that list, the right column will show the 2020 amounts. You can simply enter an amount on the 2021 column for what you would estimate that to be. If you have the actual W-2s, interest income, or any of those items, go ahead and enter the actual amount. Otherwise, do your best estimate. In this case, I will show a slight increase in income. If you are filling this out, you may want to be a little conservative on that, showing a little bit more income on things, as that will create a little higher tax and give you a little more buffer. Update each of these items to the best of your ability, and based on that, we can create an extension amount. These amounts would be amounts that flow through from businesses. The yellow section would be deductions that you have. Estimate any of those deductions as close as possible, and that will see if you itemize or not, and if that will make an impact on your overall taxes. For donations, go ahead and go to the Donations tab and update items in that list. If you're not sure exactly what to put on each line, just enter an amount on a blank line down below for an estimate of your overall deductions. Once that is calculated, you can see based on that you would be itemizing by a slight amount. That'll create deductions against your income. It should calculate net business income deductions and even a capital gain adjustment. This is not a perfect calculation, but it gives us a pretty good idea of what your tax should be. You can enter the child tax credit, and most people had received already advance payments of half of that credit this year. Please be sure you enter the amounts of withholding from W-2s or 1099s. If there's not a line for it, put it anywhere in that section and it should calculate. Based on this information, it looks like we will have a balance due. On the extension payments line, simply enter an amount that would cover the balance due. In this case, we will estimate $1,000 due with the extension, which should give us about a $500 buffer on the IRS side. We'll do the same on the Utah side, giving us also a buffer there. Once you have that completed, go ahead and send us a comment. When you send a comment, use the plus or the @ sign and send that comment to myogdencpa@gmail.com. Go ahead and update your message, whatever you would like that to say, and that will notify us that you have updated your extension amounts. If you don't think you'll have any extension, please send us a message and that will give us that information to go ahead and prepare extensions with no payment due. You could also put on the comment that you will plan on paying those online. By doing that, you won't need to worry about getting vouchers for that payment. Once you send that comment, that notifies us that you have updated those amounts and we'll go ahead and prepare those extension vouchers for you. I hope this video helps you to understand what extensions are, takes some of the stigma out of an extension, and helps you to understand how to calculate your own estimate. If you have an engagement prior to April 15th, then we will certainly help with that. But otherwise, we will not have much time to be able to help you calculate what that amount is. Do your best on it though, and a close estimate will be just fine. Know that we are also excited to get your returns done as soon as possible. If there was a way, I would do every return in February, but there is simply not enough time to do a great job, get the tax benefits, the education, and all the other aspects that we try to do with each tax filing. Please use the worksheets wherever possible to send those questions, comments, or other updates, and that will really help us in this process. It will also get you going to get your return information in so we can finish the return as soon as possible after April 15th. Thank you for watching this. We really appreciate the opportunity to serve you, and we hope that these help improve your education and understanding of taxes. In this case, the extensions are not something to be scared about. I file an extension almost every year because I don't want to make a mistake or not have enough time to calculate all the deductions that I hope to get.